Hello everyone, today I will be reviewing the NASA Apollo Saturn V. This set is rated for ages 14 and up. It is set number 21309 and has 1,969 pieces. This set has 0 minifigures and is almost 40 inches tall. This is probably the biggest, or at least one of the biggest LEGO sets in history. We can take a look at the back and sides of the box. And it shows a bunch of details about this set. And if you want to pause at any time, I'll just go through it, and yeah, you're more than welcome to. And I'll just slowly go through it. So yeah, let's get into the review. This set has 2 little side builds. It has when the Apollo 5, I think? No, Saturn 5, sorry. NASA's Apollo Saturn 5. Landed in the ocean with all of the crew members aboard. And there's nothing too crazy here. You can just see. Sorry, my dog's whining in the background. I'm just going to let her out. Sorry about that. But it has the life floaty on the bottom, and then it has the, imagine, airbags that, glide it down to the ground better. Yeah, and it has a control module there, and this blue piece is supposed to represent the water. And we can use this piece later in the review. And this is when they landed on the moon, with the modular that it has. And it came with 4 of the minifigures, I guess, and came with a little American flag. Let's take a look at this by itself. There's nothing too crazy, just a couple studs with some other stuff. But then this has some better designs to it, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And it has some much more gritty designs, not as clean looking as the rest of the ship. And it still looks really good. And let's go on to the main build of the set. Here is the main ship build. Oops, sorry, I placed that on backwards. Here's the main ship build, and it is very tall. This goes much taller than my recording studio, and it is stupidly tall with its size ratio. So you can just see some of the greebling and details on it. I try to fix the piece that popped off. Okay. Oh, jeez. That scared me. I'm sorry. But that fell off because that is one of the most easiest pieces to fall off. This thing can open up in many different ways, and it's pretty much symmetrical on all angles. And this can lay on its side. Let's view that now. Sorry. And here's the build on its side, and it of course goes right through my entire studio. And let me get a minifigure to show you scale of this thing. Here is Zombie Captain America compared to all of this. It doesn't even come close to scale-wise for at least minifigures. But then you can see some of the engines below it, which I definitely forgot to show you. So risky holding it like this. But you can see the 5 engines, and we'll put it back up. Because that is one of the scariest angles to hold this set by, I feel like. Just holding it in general is just scary. I'll show you why later. And then we can take one of the microfigures and show you. This is about the actual scale of a human compared to this. So I'll go out as far as I can to show you the scale-wise. So it's about that size. So the small minifigure is about the size of a human. So that's pretty crazy that this thing was this big. So yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the rocket. Okay, so to take this off, you have to take it off by this point here. There's a couple others too, but I'm not going to do it like that because it's risky to do. I'll show you why in a little minute. Here's the bottom half of the rocket, and we can take a better look at the engines, and has some pretty good designs to it. Then here we can take a look of this little interior, which isn't really anything too much. It's just more space to hold the rockets, so you can actually place minifigures in there. And there's clips you can see. So you can take this and add it to the rest of the rocket. Now let's view the rest of the rocket. And you can see that this is the rest of it. It has 5 more boosters on the bottom, and it can separate into a couple other parts too. We can actually do this one on camera. If we take this one apart, we can see that modular by itself, and we can see this. So if we place that down, we can take a quick look at this. So this kind of looks like a giant water bottle, to be honest. That's kind of what I first thought of this. But we can see some of the but inside parts and how it connects and how it holds everything. And I'm just better look at the bottom. All right, so let's just take a look at the rest of it. So then we can take this part, attach it on because it has a couple clips. And first, we can attach that right on. So we have that half of the rocket and we have this. So this one has one booster. And of course, it can be taken apart even more. So you can take apart these cone pieces, put those off to the side, and then there's a little stud there. What you can do is take the rover. Let's see how I can hold this up. And then you can place it on there. I'll show you. So you just place it on the stud, and then you can fit that on top of it. So I'm going to try to do that while the camera's all weird. Yeah, let me get... Okay, we'll see how well this holds. It probably will not hold that well. It's very makeshift. But you can see, we just plop that right on top of it. And it fits pretty snug. And yeah, that's that little bit. Let's look at the rest of it. So when you take it off, it most likely will not stay on the stud, and it'll fall out like that, pretty satisfyingly. And then you can take these cones off to reveal another booster engine. And of course the top always falls off. There's like one stud connection, so of course it's not going to have good connection. So let me fix that. Then you can take the life raft from earlier. You can take the I guess balloons off. It's not balloons, but you can take those pieces off, and what you can do is take the rover as well, and you can lift the white pieces off. You can flip this around like this. Sorry, leave that like that. Place it on top of there, and then flip that over and place that right on. And then this is, I imagine, what this looked like when it was headed towards the moon. And we can also see how this is actually featured by looking at the box. It looks like it is a thing that actually happened to this. So that popped off and it rotated around and it grabbed on to it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's that little bit. And then I want to see, hold on. So it does have that feature on it, but then it gets taken off of there. So I guess it's supposed to signify that that's hiding underneath, which I wish they could have just had that piece on the ship to begin with, but it probably wouldn't be as accurate to the model. Yeah, and then they took this, and then this is what landed on the moon. And then I imagine came back into space, and then this took, and then they lost pretty much the whole ship, I imagine. But I do not know, because I don't know much about this. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. It's a very good set. Thank you for one of my good friends for getting me this set. And yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.